Hello students, in this lecture we are going to discuss question number 11 from exercise 5.6 of class 12 mathematics. It is related to parametric form of the equations. So in this question the value of x and y are given and we have to prove that dy by dx equals to minus y by x. So let us start the solution. X is root a raised to power sine inverse t. Now look at this function. This is function of function type. So we can write dx by dt equals to, suppose this is x or t. Here the variable is t, so suppose this is t. So the derivative of root t is 1 by 2 root t. So we can write d by dt of root a sine inverse t. So the derivative of this is dx by dt on right hand side 1 by 2 root a sine inverse t. But this is not t. So we will write the derivative of this in the product, means a raised to power sine inverse t. So this is 1 upon 2 root a sine inverse t. Now again this is not t. This should be t, but this is not t. So we will assume this sine inverse t as t. So the derivative of a raised to power t is a raised to power t log a. So we can write the derivative of this as a raised to power sine inverse t log a, and since this is not t, so we will write the derivative of this in the product. Again dx by dt is what? We will find the derivative of sine inverse t. So the remaining terms are as it is. This is a sine inverse t log a, and the derivative of this is 1 upon root 1 minus t square. So x depends on t. So we will find the derivative of this x with respect to t. इसको हम t assume करते हैं. तो रूट t का डिफरेंशिएशन 1 अपॉन 2 रूट t, लेकिन ये t नहीं है, इसका डेरिवेटिव फिर से प्रोडक्ट में लिखा. नाउ दिस शुड बी a रेज्ड टू पावर t, लेकिन फिर ये t नहीं है, इसको t assume करके फिर हमने डेरिवेटिव फाइंड किया, तो a रेज्ड टू पावर t एंड log a. जिसको t माना उसका डेरिवेटिव फिर से प्रोडक्ट में. फाइनली दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म. सो द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ दिस इज 1 अपॉन रूट 1 माइनस टी स्क्वायर. उसके आगे अब डेरिवेटिव इसका नहीं हो. नाउ सिमिलरली फॉर y. y is and y equals to root a cos inverse t. Suppose this is t. So the derivative of y with respect to t is d by dt root a cos inverse t. So this is dy by dt. On right hand side we have to find the derivative of this root a raised to power cos inverse t. So we will assume this term as t. So the derivative of root t is 1 by 2 root t, means 2 root a raised to power cos inverse t. But since this is not t, so we will write the derivative of this term in the product. That is derivative of a raised to power cos inverse t. Now the next step is 2 root a cos inverse t. When we find the derivative of a raised to power cos inverse t, So we will assume this cos inverse t as t. So the derivative of a raised to power t is a raised to power t and log a. But since this is not t, so we will write the derivative of this in the product. Now finally in the last step, dy by dt, these two terms as it is, 2 root a cos inverse t, a raised to power cos inverse t log a, and the derivative of cos inverse t is minus 1 by root 1 minus t square. So as we have done for x, the same is in case of y. We will assume this as t, इसको t मान के डेरिवेटिव फाइंड करेंगे, तो द डेरिवेटिव ऑफ रूट t इज 1/2 रूट t, लेकिन ये t नहीं है, इसका डेरिवेटिव फिर से प्रोडक्ट में लिखेंगे. एंड सिंस दिस इज द फॉर्म ऑफ a रेज़ टू पावर t, बट दिस इज नॉट t, तो इसको t मानेंगे तो इसका डिफरेंशिएशन होगा a रेज़ टू पावर cos इनवर्स t log a, जिसको t माना उसका डिफरेंशिएशन फिर से प्रोडक्ट में. So in the last step, these two are as it is. Finally, इसको हमने कोई assume नहीं किया, ये t है और इसको t ही treat कर रहे हैं. So the differentiation of cos inverse t is this. तो further differentiation इसमें नहीं होगा. Now, what we have to find? We have to find dy by dx. So dy by dt when divided by dx by dt, then we will get dy by dx. So the value of dy by dt is this one. So we will write this as 1 by 2 root a raised to power cos inverse t, and this is a raised to power cos inverse t log a, and this is 1 by root 1 minus t square, and this minus we will write in the starting. Now divided by dx by dt. So this is the value of dx by dt. So this is 1/2 root a raised to power sin inverse t, and this is a raised to power sin inverse t, and log a 1 by root 1 minus t square. So in the next step we will write minus 1/2 root a cos inverse t, this is a raised to power cos inverse t log a, in denominator this is root 1 minus t square, and when we change this sign, then this can be written as 2 root a raised to power sin inverse t root 1 minus t square. In denominator we will write these two terms, that is a raised to power sin inverse t and log a. Now 2 and 2 cancel, these two are also cancelled, log a is also cancelled. Now the remaining terms are a raised to power cos inverse t and root a raised to power sin inverse t. In denominator root a raised to power cos inverse t and a raised to power sin inverse t. Now these two cancelled, and we will get root a raised to power cos inverse t in the numerator. When these two cancel, we will get root a raised to power minus sin inverse t in the denominator, and this minus sign is as it is. So this is nothing but the value of y, and this denominator is x. So finally we can write this as minus y by x. So the value of dy by dx equals to minus y by x. Hence it is proved. So in this way we can solve the problems.